Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Am I muted? How come I can't hear myself on any of my other... Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry, this is a horrible start, but it's weird. I can't hear myself on any of my other monitors. So, oh, you can hear me. Wait, this is the weirdest thing. Now I'm a little scared. I gotta figure out why my speakers aren't working on any other computer. Anyways, I'll worry about that later. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It is Wednesday night, June the 26th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Thanks everyone for being here. I was actually going to do a member stream tonight, but then because of everything that was going on, basically the Canucks making two major moves today, I decided instead that we would that I would make this a general stream, and then I'll bump the member stream to next week. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bump this member stream to next week. So you have me tonight for everyone that wants to be here and wants to hear. I am happy that you are here. I'm happy that you are here with me tonight. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame and franchise members, thanks for your support as always. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston, Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. You know that you could be watching anyone else, doing anything else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me tonight, know how much I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. So this is how you get involved tonight. Lucas, thanks for the donation. I'll get to that in a second. This is how you get involved tonight. You can subscribe to the channel. Get active in the chat section. Get notified of my videos every single day. You can like the video. There are already 51 of you watching in YouTube, which is awesome. Another 60 watching on X. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the video. Like the fact that the Canucks are not afraid to make moves. Like the fact that Patrik Allvin is not afraid to be aggressive. They're not afraid to make space when they need to. And that's what I'm going to talk about, obviously, in a few minutes. So like the video if you haven't done so already. You can leave a donation like Lucas has done. I'll get to that in a second. Thank you, Lucas. You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. You can use your monthly membership message, your triple M. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. So let's get to Lucas's donation. He gets the donation train out of the station right away. So let's give Lucas some much deserved love. By the way, I figured out why I couldn't hear. It's because I had my videos, YouTube on mute. That usually is an indication that you won't be able to hear anything. So thank you, Lucas, legendary Lucas Gates, for the $10 donation. And it says here, the new Fanatics jerseys have officially dropped. Yes, they have. I'm excited. Best of luck to Ilya and Sam on their next chapter in Chicago. Like, sub, become a member, and more. Anaheim and LA's new look. Dang. I presume that's a good dang and not a bad dang where you hurt yourself, you hurt your throat. So let's give some love to Lucas in the chat. And yeah, everything you said there, Fanatics. You know, I read a really good article in The Athletic about how Fanatics got a bad rap where when they came out with the MLB jerseys a few years ago, it was Nike that messed them up. And then the amount of volume they do, yes, they're going to make mistakes once in a while, but it's not like every single jersey they make has an error in it. So it's a really interesting article. Some were saying, well, why are you defending, not to me, to the writer, why do you have to defend Fanatics? They shouldn't make errors. But if you subscribe to The Athletic, it was a really interesting read. Anyways, yes, all those things. Best of luck to Ilya and Sam. I'll get to that. Lucas, thank you for the donation. And yes, both the Anaheim Ducks and the LA Kings jerseys look pretty sweet. So if you want to follow the good man, Lucas's lead, you can leave a donation like he just did. Yeah, actually, I didn't see this comment, but I agree with Lucas. All the hate dissipated. Give Fanatics a chance. Yep, I agree. I agree with you completely. Okay, Canucks fans, we got a couple deals to talk about. Let's talk about the smaller one first, because chronologically it happened first. So around lunchtime, we heard the news that the Canucks, actually, I think it was after lunch, we heard the news that the Canucks had extended Teddy Blueger. Now, Teddy Blueger, he is going to, well, he's one of our 9 unrestricted free agents. And he played, last year he signed with the Vancouver Canucks on July 1st for $1.9 million. So once again, Teddy Blueger was one of the 3 free agents. Well, I think there's 3. It was Cole, Soucy, and Blueger, I believe. But yes, Teddy Blueger signed a 1-year contract with the Vancouver Canucks on July the 1st, 2023. So that made him a free agent heading into this summer. And we can look at Blueger's body of work. He was drafted way back in 2012 by Pittsburgh in the 2nd round. And then he did 5 seasons with Pittsburgh, 1 season with Vegas, where he played in some of the playoffs, and then 1 season with the Vancouver Canucks. So last year, he played in 68 games, had 6 goals, 22 assists, so 28 points in 68 games. 2 of those, his 6 goals were shorthanded goals, are pretty cool. And he was a +4 with 31 penalty minutes, averaged 15 minutes of ice time, faceoffs, grid and faceoffs, 53.1%, and then a shooting percentage of only 6.2%. Away from the stats, I actually think he's a very valuable player for the Vancouver Canucks. He's a center. He's good in faceoffs. He's good on penalty kill, and he's actually a threat to score shorthanded, as you can see a little bit. And he's good defensively. So, and I do like that he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife, kind of a little bit like Pius Suter. I think Pius Suter has more offensive potential in his game, but I think Teddy Blueger has a bit more grit in his game, if that makes sense. So Blueger, I do remember that he's not afraid to, not play dirty, but play really hard on the boards. He's not afraid to go at guys. And I think it's pretty cool that they got him back at a cheaper number, even going from 1.9 to 1.8. Now, Blueger overall, his career earnings, his yearly salary has dropped a little bit. So prior to us signing him last summer, he was coming off a 2-year 4.4. So he was making $2.2 million a year. And that was with Pittsburgh, and then finished that off with Vegas. So he was making 2.2 for 2 years. And then last year with us, he made 1.9. And then next year and the year after, he's going to make 1.8. So, yeah, it's still good money, but it's not break the bank money. And I admit that, remember I was saying that Blueger and Myers were the 2 guys that were probably going to get leftover money. They were going to probably get signed a little bit later, but the fact that he is, that he got signed before July 1st, it actually tells me that he actually wanted to be here. A couple other things, and then I'll highlight some of your comments about Teddy Blueger. A couple other things is, you guys remember that, I can't remember if it was Suter or Blueger, one of them, maybe both. I think Blueger may have started the season injured, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at all of his games from last season, because before I make my point. Yeah, he didn't play until November 12th. So he missed the first month of the season. And then right around here, look at his points from the middle of December all the way until just before the All-Star break, January. Look at his points. It's pretty crazy. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So you guys, that was when he was playing on the third line with Dakota Joshua and Connor Garland. So Suter started the season between Joshua and Garland. Then they put Blueger there, and he did really well there. Remember, they were the best line for the Canucks on a lot of their games. And then when we traded for Elias Lindholm, they tried to put Lindholm there a little bit as well. And in the playoffs, Lindholm was there as opposed to Blueger. And then Blueger was, if they moved Lindholm up to play with Petey, then Blueger became the third line center. If they played Lindholm between Joshua and Garland, Blueger became the fourth line center. So that's what I kind of mean. He kind of went all over the place. But remember, he had a decent season because of that middle of the stretch with Dakota Joshua and Connor Garland. And you can see that his 28 points ties him for his career high that he also had in not a full season. Oh, I guess this kind of concerns me. Now that I see this, he's never played more than 69 games in a season. So he's not the most durable guy ever. Maybe explains, maybe it's because of the way he plays a little bit. But overall, I think this is a very, very good signing for the Vancouver Canucks. There's cost certainty. It's not even $2 million a season. And he plays a very valuable role in our lineup. And I think some of you guys are saying that in the chat. Blueger is a very solid player. Great signing. Blueger is the definition of X factor. Love the Blueger signing. Bring on all the Latvians. Blues is pretty healthy. Blueger got hurt the last preseason game. Yeah, exactly. Let's show some respect. No, I show a lot of respect for him for sure. As many of you guys have said as well. Blueger is a defensive demon. Blueger under $2 million is a steal for us. Blueger is a Keystone guy. Yeah, thanks. I'm going to get to this in a bit. Thanks, Ahmed. Team-friendly contract. Blues did a good signing here. Yeah, so I think a really important thing to note is you could argue that that Hronek took a little bit less to sign here, right? A little bit. Or to extend here as an RFA. I bet you Teddy Blueger left some money on the table because the free agent market for centers isn't that robust this year. So I think he could have got more money elsewhere. So the fact that he wanted to come here and do this, I think is really, really good for the Vancouver Canucks. So that news broke earlier, mid-afternoon, and yeah, it's a 2-year contract, $1.8 million a year. And then I was about ready to come home from work, and I started to see Elliot Friedman and Frank Cervelli talk about, out of the blue, that the Canucks were working on a trade with Chicago to trade Ilya Mikheyev away, but Ilya Mikheyev had a modified no trade clause, so they had to wait until they had to basically approach him and ask him if he would waive it, his modified no trade clause. So meaning that I don't know if Chicago was on his no trade list or he simply had a modified no trade where I don't know what the modification was. It doesn't matter. He basically had to waive. He had to give the Canucks permission to trade him. And you never know how that's going to go because generally they do that because if they know that their future is not bright on this team, then why would you say no? Especially if you have a better chance to do, to resurrect your career somewhere else. But he negotiated that, so he doesn't have to. He absolutely doesn't have to waive that. So that's a good thing. Hey, welcome, Carol. Yes, sorry that you are sick again. I know you're battling health problems, so I appreciate you being here. Now, that happened around 5:30. Then I get home. So I kind of cheated. I knew I'd have a busy night tonight. So before I left work, I recorded a vlog saying, this is the rumor. Ilya Mikheyev may get traded to the Chicago Blackhawks, but this has to happen. And then the return might be this. And I had no clue. I was just going with what I was reading on X. Come home, eating dinner with my lovely wife, Gail, then starting to pack for my trip. And then I see that they finally announced the terms. the terms of the deal. Oh, by the way, before they announced the terms, then a couple of people were tweeting out, even I think Chris Johnson and Patrick Johnson, the two Johnson brothers, they're tweeting out, they're not brothers, it's just the same last name. They're tweeting out that there might be another team that was in the mix, not necessarily a three-way trade, rather there'd be another team that maybe made an offer to the Vancouver Canucks with the hope of getting some sweeteners. So this is the final deal. The Vancouver Canucks trade away Ilya Mikheyev and his $4.75 million salary for the next 2 years. Well, most of it. I'll get to that in a second. They trade away Sam Lafferty, who's a pending UFA. So the only advantage to doing this, if the Canucks were, the only advantage to doing this is that Chicago, if they like Sam Lafferty, they can actually negotiate with him for these next few days before July the 1st. And he could sign an 8-year deal with them, but I don't think that I don't think Sam Lafferty is signing an 8-year deal with Chicago as opposed to 7 years. That's not the issue. The issue is Chicago can already start to negotiate with them. So this is obviously a player that they might want to keep. The Canucks weren't going to re-sign Sam Lafferty. Then a 2027 second-round pick as well, and then we get a 2027 fourth-round pick. So the Canucks and Blackhawks swap picks in 3 drafts from, technically 4 drafts from now, but 3 years from now, and we'll have to just remind ourselves about this 3 in 2027. The one thing that's not on there, because I don't know if it's because it doesn't look good or they just don't want to put in the graphic. The Canucks are also retaining 15% of Ilya Mikheyev's salary. So 15% of $4.75 million for the next 2 years is $712,500, 712.5. So $712,000 the Canucks are retaining for next season and the season after that. So I think if there is no such thing as retention, people would unanimously say that this is a great deal because in essence, you were giving up the second round. I'm not going to say who cares about Lafferty. Lafferty wasn't an issue here. So basically the sweetener that you are offering Chicago for taking Ilya Mikheyev off of our hands is a swap of draft picks. But that wasn't enough, obviously. So they negotiated the 15% retention. So I get why some people don't like that because every single dollar counts. But I like it. And I'll tell you why. I like it because, yes, you have to retain $712,000. But you're still getting over $400,000. Sorry, $4 million. Sorry, what am I talking about? You have to pay $712,000, but you're getting $4 million off the books. $4 million. So this happened so fast. Like a lot of people didn't think this was going to happen. At the year-end media availability, Patrik Allvin said they weren't going to trade Mikheyev. They got to rebuild him, kind of thing. And then look, a month later, they've traded him. So that's the cost of trading him, the swap of the draft picks and $712,000 a year. Now I know there's other dead money with Oliver Ekman-Larsson's buyout and everything, but I don't think 712 is too onerous. It's easy for me to say. And I think that's the cost of getting off of that contract because you have to look at now the options they have. They have 20 million of cap space now instead of 16 million. So as many of you said, you could actually throw a lot of money at Jake Gensel. Or as a lot of you said, now the Canucks have more money to loop back for maybe a Dakota Joshua, maybe Nikita Zadorov. And remember, even before this Mikheyev trade was made, me and others, not just me, others were saying, if you can trade Mikheyev, then you can try and retain not all of your UFAs, but maybe one of Joshua or Zadorov. I've said that Lindholm's not worth the money that he'll want as a third line center here. So I think in my humble opinion, that's the way we got to look at it. Yes, we give up another higher draft pick. Yes, we give up a bit of cap space for the next 2 years, but that's to get $4 million of cap space. Same as when we bought out OEL. Yes, we knew there would be a penalty, but the immediate savings was huge. And that's why the Canucks were able to beef up their roster and make a serious run this year, a run that none of us expected. So that's kind of the way I come out on this. I love the Blueger signing. In fact, I don't know anyone who doesn't like it. And I like this Mikheyev trade because of the flexibility that it could afford us. And quite frankly, I just trust Patrik Allvin. I really, really do. I've seen what he's done with this roster for the past 2 years, and they're going to continue to tinker with this roster. And even if the Canucks lose half of their unrestricted free agents this year, I'm fine with it, because I think the Canucks are going to bring in guys that are going to help replace what we lose. So, well, yeah, sorry guys. I just put up all my background stuff. I had it there for like a few minutes. I apologize for that. I was just so concentrating on what I was saying that I put up my background, which is fine. There's nothing funky there. It just shows Lucas's donation and then a bunch of stats. Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. Actually, what I was showing you was the back end, not my back end, the back end. And I apologize for that. I was checking something, and then but that's okay. It's okay. I'm just making sure there's no private info back here. The chat is exactly what you guys see. It just showed like a couple stats, but nothing that is going to get me in trouble. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to weigh in, but I'm also going to give a special guest a chance to weigh in. Oh yeah, could have been worse. At least it wasn't my incognito. Yeah, you don't want to see what's in my incognito. And Irvin said you just texted me all the trades. Irvin, did you make this spreadsheet, or did someone else do it? So we've lost a lot of picks, but the quality of player that we bought it. Wow, there's a lot here. Irvin, is that your own spreadsheet? Thank you for doing that. That's awesome. I'll have to look at this a little bit later. Yeah, Lafferty is replaceable. Oh, you found it on Twitter. Well, thanks for being honest. You could have easily said that you made it up, and we would all believe you. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do my mid-show sponsor read. Then I'm gonna bring in a special unannounced guest. Emphasis on guest and special in a good way. And he or she, but most likely he, is gonna help me break down. I'm gonna get his opinion on the two deals from today, and then we will answer your questions. So let me do my mid-show sponsor read now, and then we will get to a special guest that I have tonight. So shout out to my primary sponsor, Vancita Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Lou, weight loss coach. Use the link coachpatricklou.com/clay and receive a free 5-day workout from him. Thank you to Gassy Jet Art, maker of that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. You can get involved by subscribing, by liking the video, by leaving a donation like Lucas did, by gifting a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership, and use your monthly membership message, your MMM. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. And I promise I will not show the back end of a YouTube studio once again. One other thing real quick, you guys. I go to, I think I divulged that I'm going to Vegas tomorrow with my lovely wife, Gail, and our best friends, a little trip away for my 50th birthday. Don't worry, I won't go crazy. It's more shows and eating and shopping as opposed to gambling. It's funny. I'm there. I fly in as the awards night is happening. So I'm not going to the NHL awards. I'm not going to the NHL draft because the Canucks have no draft picks for me to cheer on, but I'm going to be there anyways while all that's going on. So I won't be streaming while I'm gone. So my next streams, I come back on Monday, July the 1st. So if the Canucks do a bunch of stuff on Free Agent Canada Day, I'll have to let other people cover it, and I'll just watch their videos because I'll be traveling. Then I will do a show on Tuesday night, and then I'll do a show on Thursday night, which will be members, which is what I was supposed to do tonight. I'm not doing a show next Wednesday because that's night. Gail flies out for the Philippines, so I figure I should probably take her to the airport as opposed to be with you, as much as I love you guys. And then I myself leave on Friday night. So that's why my shows are Tuesday and Thursday next week, because Wednesday Gail leaves, Friday I leave, and then you won't hear from me for about 5 weeks. So we'll have to make next week's shows really, really good. Speaking of making shows really good, I have a friend I'm going to bring him in right now. We text all the time. So naturally, we texted today because of all the cool stuff that was happening. So I think this person is ready. Can I get a thumbs up in the background? Okay. This person is ready. So please welcome the fastest growing Canucks content creator out there. If he's not, it's pretty darn close. And it doesn't matter. It's not about numbers anyways. Trev, welcome, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Woohoo!
Go Canucks, go!
You were killing it today. I saw a car vlog. I'm a big advocate of car vlogs, as you know. And then you did your own reaction video to the Mikheyev. So the Mikheyev one's the big one, and I think we're going to spend more time on that. Let's go with the Teddy Blueger news first. So 2 years, 1.8, even a reduction from the 1.9 we paid him last year for 1 year. What was your reaction then and now that you've had a few hours to sit on it?
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I thought we were going to get him for 2 years at $2 million.
Yep.
So, I mean, people are saying 200,000. What's the difference? You and I, that's a big difference.
Yeah. That's more than we make together.
Make 2 million or 1.8. I mean, it's a little bit different, but I love it. And then for so many reasons, right? Because I don't think people understand you need players like Blueger who make the difference in everyone looks at the score sheet, right? You talked about this tonight a little bit already, but the couple of things that I really love about Blueger is on the penalty kill, how many times are they doing their cross ice pass and he gets his stick down and it tips and it goes over the glass? Like little things like that make a difference. So I'm huge on Blueger. I've been saying since day one we're bringing him back, because how do you not bring him back for, well, I was saying 2 million, but 2.8 million? Are you kidding me right now? I mean, he's got a Stanley Cup. He's a playoff guy. That's what you need to put on the team. So I'm super pumped. By the way, both of my videos today were both like almost in the car or truck. That is, it's a truck video. So I'm driving. I literally went to a meeting and I'm driving, listening to Sportsnet and or 650. That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah, whatever it is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's something happened. I literally had a conversation with this guy, Clay. It was hilarious. I just talked with someone for 20 minutes about the Canucks.
Yep.
I finished my meeting with that guy. I get in the car, the truck. I'm driving. It happens. I'm like, I'm pulling over and I'm filming right now because I'm like, I got to be like Clay and film right now, right? So, and then the next one, I heard it while I was going home, and I'm like, I want to text people while I'm driving. That's bad.
Yeah.
So I had to wait till I got home, and then dinner, and then you had the video up so fast. It was awesome. Well done.
But I cheated. I told you I cheated. I did it as if I did it before they announced it. Then I just updated all the details.
Yeah.
And it's no, Trev, you're such a good sport, and people are really happy, by the way, that you are in the stream. Let me just highlight Lucas's donation. So thank you, Lucas, for this. We'll give you the goal horn. I'm so excited, my eyes are watering. All right.
Way to go, Lucas.
Yes, Clay and Rev Trev, two of the biggest Canucks YouTubers I'm a member of, together on the same stream. Let's freaking go. Yes, thank you, Lucas, for the donation. Let's give Lucas some love in the chat. And yeah, actually, Trev and I have done a couple things together. I think I brought you on to 1 or 2 game overs before they canned them.
No, I was on the last one, and then they canceled it. I was so bad that day.
No, it wasn't because of you. And then you brought me on your stream to talk about I'm Just Here for the Riot. And it's not even about returning favors. You guys, well, I'm going to say this once and once only. And it's kind of funny because Trev and I talk about, the spirit of lifting each other up and affirming each other. And with Trev and I, it's not competition. I've been around here longer. Trev's growing great and he's doing awesome stuff. And he's a good, honest, passionate guy. And it's funny because once in a while in each other's streams, we'll have people that are loyal to us or prefer us, even speaking about the other person. Yeah, you're better than this person, or I like your. It doesn't matter, you guys. Trev and I support each other, and we both want our channels to grow, each other's channels to grow. And it's okay if you have preferences. Actually, it's okay if you like one person's style or more than the other, or maybe it's not even me or Trev, it's someone else, and that's cool too. but it's all love between Trevor and me, and otherwise we wouldn't be appearing on each other's shows as often as we do. Is that a fair way to sum it up, Trev?
Yeah, I think when we were texting about that, I talked about we're not in competition, we're in community. This is the Canucks community is actually pretty awesome. I was very surprised how awesome the Canucks community was, because I thought it was going to be a lot more toxic personally.
Yep.
And I've been pleasantly surprised how faithful, how amazing our fan base is on so many levels. Plus, how supportive is like the big dogs. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about the people who do this for a living and how many compliments they give each of us. And they, I mean, those guys really love you, Clay. And so I think that's really cool to see. I think the competition is dumb. There's a lot of room for takes and for fun, and why not collab? I mean, people might get tired of just seeing me all the time. You know what I mean? So, but apparently I'm starting to show up on people's timelines.
Good.
And near the top, which that takes a lot of grind to get to. So, but I watch a ton of your stuff and I love it. So thanks for having me on.
No, anytime. And Real AT, yeah, no, I'm not sure how much you're on my show, but you're welcome here. For better or for worse, I'm very open with the viewers and the subscribers, the loyal subscribers here. So whether it's Canuck stuff, NHL stuff, family stuff, or just anything I'm going through, obviously I make the focus Canuck stuff, but I do like to talk about stuff that's on my mind. And this is something that's been on my mind for the last couple of days. Just as it's amazing when YouTube, when the playoffs happened, all these channels popped up, all these highlight channels popped up, all these post-game live streams. And now that it's the off season, people have their own rhythms, and they have their own kind of priorities for their own channel. And that's cool too. So the reason Realty I bring it up is just because I'm very, I like to try to be attuned to what's happening in the creator atmosphere. And I just see that once in a while, not just on mine and Trev shows, other like shows as well. I see comments that don't necessarily have to be there. And on one hand, it is it's a sign that we are doing some good work. So speaking of good work, we both agree, I think, on the Blueger one. I would love an uninterrupted, meaning I won't interrupt you, Trev, your take on the Mikheyev signing, because I know even on X, I saw you going back and forth with a couple guys about the retention, the draft pick. So the floor is yours, my brother.
Yeah, dude, I am in shock. I just made a video called "I'm in Shock." Mikheyev got moved. Milstein, I don't know I love watching his interviews. He's super dynamic. I mean, he can sell snow to an Eskimo. Like, he is unbelievable. For him to pull off this, like, how many guys have been said, here, you can, like Brock Besser, we'll give it to your agent. You go find a trade partner. Nobody can do this. Apparently Milstein can. Who in the right mind wants Mikheyev? 1 goal in 60 games. 1 goal. 1 goal. I don't know if you guys heard this. 1 goal in 60 games. Come off an ACL. He is not the same player he used to be. And there's a third thing. Can't remember what it is. 4.75 for the next 2 years. I'm not a GM, but I would never, ever trade for a guy like that. Now, granted, you get a 2nd round pick, you got a little bit of cap space. I get it. But like, the Chicago Blackhawks are literally the people we trade with all the time to give all the bad contracts to. Have you seen that stat that's compared, Clay? It's insane. And so I am so ecstatic about this trade, even though I do not like the retention. It's awful. I hate, like you said, every penny matters, even though pennies are worthless. Every dollar matters, right? But what matters is my boy is coming home. We're going to bring Zadorov in tomorrow or the next day, and I've been telling everyone for months that he's going to get re-signed. And I'm telling you right now, I am so ready. When he resigns, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring my stuff to work. I'm going to make a video like right now. I'm ready to go.
Okay. So is it everything to do with the fact that Milstein is the agent for both guys, or nothing to do with it? Like, what do you think?
It 100% has to do with both.
Okay. So this is a move to make the space to do this.
Yeah. So he's saying we're patient. We're going to be patient with the Canucks, and then he's like, hey, let me try to find a deal for my own guy, Mikheyev. Are you kidding me? This guy is a legend. I put him on the thumbnail, Clay. I've never put an agent on a thumbnail before. Nobody cares about agents. I'm a big fan. I think that's exactly why it happened. He got the no trade clause moved, just like with Kuzmenko, even though I miss Kuz so much. But this is what we're saying. Like, it has to be connected, don't you think?
Oh yeah, it is. And I think you and I and others, so it's not just us trying to sound smart. We were saying that if they're going after Gensel and if they have to give him 9 or 10, if they're successful, that doesn't leave a lot of money. So something else has to happen for them to retain one of their big 3 of Zadorov, of Lindholm, or Joshua. I think we both agree Lindholm is too much money to pay for a third line center. And it's interesting. I thought that Joshua, Trev, was as good as gone, but apparently there's a lot more traction around his name naturally now that we have another $4 million to spend, right?
Yeah, but I think, isn't the $4 million to spend on Zadorov?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm just not buying this smokescreen of Joshua at this stage. I know there's a lot more, but if you listen to Dollywall, he is consistently saying there's no movement and everything is negative right now towards him. Not that they hate the player. There's no positives that he's coming back. And I think he has a really good pulse on the thing. So I think what it is, it's fans that are like, we love Joshua. Everyone loves Joshua. I just don't love Joshua for $4 million. I love Joshua for 2.5. He made 800,000 last year.
Yeah.
And that's a huge jump, right? Like,
yeah.
And now, granted, Zadorov is in the exact same boat. And I've got a lot of rants regarding like people and what they say, part of these guys. But I like Joshua. My problem with Joshua is like, we're just bringing back the same team and we lost in the second round.
Yeah.
So where are we different? And I'm not saying we should get rid of Joshua, but for the price, you might have to do that.
And we don't blame Joshua for the first time in his career. He has set himself up to get paid, and good for him. Yep. Wow. Okay. So in your head, the master plan is get Mikheyev off our books, 4 million of the 4.75. Now that money can go to Zadorov, and the fact that it's the same agent, it's just even easier to broker, because the Canucks weren't able to trade Mikheyev until they basically said, Dan Muhlstein, please help us.
Dan the man. That's what I'm calling him from now on. Dan the man.
And you think the Zadorov thing is going to happen in the next couple of days?
Of course. Like, why wouldn't you? I mean, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
And now is Zadorov coming back and saying, now that there's money, I want more? I don't think so. This is my opinion. I don't have any sources. Okay, Clay. I don't. My source is my brain. Okay. I believe that the Vancouver Canucks. So we know that they offered him $4.5 million, right? And then they were coming back with this is the last offer we're going to offer you.
Yep.
I believe and I know this sounds crazy, their biggest last offer is a 4.75, which is $1 million raise from the previous year.
Okay. And
it's either a 4 or a 5 year deal. I think that's a great offer. I think that's reasonable, but I think someone's going to pay him 6. I think someone's going to pay him 6 for 5 years. But I think he wants to stay in Vancouver. So my guess is he's going to land at 5 or 5.2. If this, you can mark my words here. I could be right. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt it. Okay. So I'm saying he's going to land between 5 and 5.2. And if he can land for 4 or 5 years, I'm going to be ecstatic, bro.
Yeah.
This is the kind of guy you want on your team. He's not just like, people are like, he's a third pairing defenseman. That's not true.
Yeah,
he is a playoff guy. You want him on your team. He makes a difference. You want difference makers on your team. You don't want Jags, just another guy.
Yeah,
Jags don't help you.
Yeah,
but you got to get guys who make a difference, and I think he makes a difference.
So it's interesting. When he first hit it's not like he's hit the free agent market. That's not till July 1st. But when numbers started to fly around, I agree with you, Trev. I think I think that he was aiming for 5.5 to 6, like for him. But I think the Canucks discount was, if you say 750 to $1 million less than that, then that makes sense. Then the Canucks offered between 4.5 to 5. So I would love it if the number did not start with a 5, but in my head, yeah, my kind of like tipping point is 5.25, like 5.25. It's same as you, 5.2. That 2.5, I don't like, but I will live with it for 3 of the 5 years of his contract. So if it's 5 times 5, I'm fine with that. Anything more than that, it's a little bit dicey for me, a little bit.
I understand the apprehensiveness.
Yeah.
I just, when you go and watch him live, and you're like, this is a mountain of a man. He is just like, you watch it. Like I remember when I first, in 1994, I went down to watch the Canucks, get this, Canucks Rangers regular season game.
In 94.
94.
The preview.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I went to the ice level just to see all the players and do all that stuff pregame. And I saw the guys live.
Yep.
Gino Ojic was a beast.
Yep.
Jeff Bukaboom was massive.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a reason why these teams are good. They have talented, large players on their teams. And I'm like, this is I'm looking at him going, that's how I feel. It's like these big boys that know how to play hockey. I mean, Gino was a fighter too, but he was, that was an enforcer roles, but like having him as an enforcer too helps us. So I don't know. I have a love affair with Zadorov coming back to Vancouver. So I admit that.
So I got one last question.
Man crush, but I'm pretty close. So
I can tell you love large men in a platonic way.
Well, I'm a big guy, right? So I'm large and in charge, right? So
large and in charge. That should be the name of your secondary channel. So one last question, and then we'll do 10 minutes of questions from people, and then we'll get out of here. All right. So is there any part of you, Trev, that fears the Canucks are going to overpay Zadorov?
Yeah, and if they do, that means that they believe that they're not getting Gensel.
Okay.
They will have I think they have a good barometer whether they're going to get Gensel or not. And I think you're going to see, if you're going over 5.25 with Zadorov, I don't think Gensel is going to be a realistic option. Okay. There's a lot of good players out there. There's just not, I would not call Gensel elite. I think he's a tier below elite.
But he's the best that's out there.
But in this free agency, he would be considered the top dog. Yeah, wouldn't you be excited to get Reinhart?
Yeah, but I don't think Reinhart's leaving. Why would you leave unless you say I got my cup? No, why would you leave?
No. But listen, if we can't get Gensel, and we could get Stamkos for 2 years, oh my goodness, that would be unbelievable, right? Like, so I think this is the video I made 2 nights ago about the love affair. I'm in love with Zadorov coming, but everyone else is like Gensel or bust. I don't know if Gensel is coming to Vancouver. I hope he does. I really like him. But you got to remember that Gensel played with Crosby and Malkin for most of his career. Those numbers, he's playing with those guys, okay? Then he goes to Carolina. I believe he played with Aho.
Yep.
It's like, so, and then you're coming to Vancouver, you're going to be playing with Pettersson, and he's going to be better than Mikheyev, just saying. Right? So he's going to have decent stats, but is he on his own? Like, is he really like Rantanen is at another level, right? People like that. And I know it's hard to, like, obviously, I mean, that's Captain Obvious, but like in my opinion, Marner is better than Gensel. And I think some people are going to just start losing it right now. Yeah. But talent wise, I think Marner's a better player. Playoff wise, I think Gensel's a better player. Marner struggles in playoffs. So
right. So you make a good point about Gensel being blessed to play with Crosby and Malkin and then Aho, but I think the flip side of that, Trev, in a good way, is he can he can keep up with those guys. Like he's smart enough to play with Crosby. He's smart enough to play with Malkin. And that's what PD needs. PD needs someone who can play with pace, who's smart, who can think the game like him. Doesn't have to win every single board battle, but at least be open somewhere that PD, if he doesn't have his shot, can use his. PD's an excellent passer. We know that PD's got such a good hockey IQ. I think he gets frustrated when it's like if he played on a line with like me and you. Well, I don't know about you, but definitely with me. Like I think Hoglander, it would frustrate PD to no end because sometimes he just doesn't get it just yet, right? Hopefully he will. So I hear what you're saying, but I don't think Gensel needs to drive his own line as a winger. I think you got to be able to ride shotgun with a good center, and that's why I think there's such this hope. But yeah, I hear you. And I watch all your videos. I know you did one, Gensel's coming. You said, I don't think Gensel's coming. So who knows?
Well, and like, I know, like, I'm just watching the chat here too. And I knew people would be freaking out about this Marner take, but okay. Marner is 10.9 million. Okay. This is why I'd rather have Gensel.
Yeah.
At 9 million, I'm cool with Gensel. At 8.5, I'm cool with Gensel. At 10 million, I'm out on Gensel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And I think that Marner's just a tad bit better, but I know that people don't like the Leafs. They don't want to talk about Leaf players, so I get it. But what I'm saying is I don't have Gensel in that upper echelon. I have him right below those stud wingers. Okay. But yeah, we don't have option. I think that Rutherford and Allvin are in love with Gensel, and that's who they're targeting, and I'm really excited about that. But I'm trying to prepare myself. What if we don't get him?
And then imagine if we don't get Gensel nor Zadorov. You're like, what are you going to do?
Goodness. I've been trying to prepare myself, Clay, for that.
Okay. Well, I don't want to make you sad. Let's wait till it happens. So, fans, let's do this. It's 10:47. I know Trev sometimes goes late. You guys know I go late, but I'm trying not to during the off season. So let's cut it off by 11 o'clock. So let's do about 10 minutes of questions. Because Trev's my guest, I'll let him take first dibs on the questions, and then I can add in a couple 2 cents or whatever it may be. So let me know let us know in the chat what you want to know. Fangirl, I don't want to put Trev on the spot. I think Parker is set on going solo next Monday, and that's fine. I think it's just easier sometimes to go solo. I think Trev would be great. But I think just so we don't put we don't put Trev on the spot. Yeah, I think Parker's set on going solo next week. All right, Ahmed says this. Look at the amount of teams on Gensel. Why would he come here? I don't think the past Pittsburgh connections are enough to convince him. I'll throw in one other connection. Him and Besser share the same agent. But is that enough, Trev?
I don't know if it is, and we're about to find out. So
Yep. Taylor says, who are your top 5 players? So I don't know if this is top 5 or your favorite 5. So you can take it any way you want.
My top 5 in the league right now. That's tough. I mean, I can do top 5 Canucks.
Sure.
But I think if I go top 5 in the league, I think McDavid's the best player in the world right now. I love Bedard, but I can't give him the top 5 yet. I love Kucherov. I love McKinnon.
Matthews.
Pardon me?
Matthews.
Oh yeah. I'm a big Matthews fan, even though I still don't think he's in that. I don't think he's as good as McKinnon and McDavid. He's below that. Those are some of the guys I like. If you want top 5 of all time, my favorite player of all time is Pavel Bure, and it's not close. Love the Russian Rocket. My next favorite is Eric Lindros. I know that a lot of people don't like him as a person, and all the drama that came around. But as a athlete, he had the size, skill. He's like Shaquille O'Neal to the NHL, in my opinion. That's why he's one of the greats. And then I love Luc Robitaille. So Lucky Luke was awesome. So those are guys I love. But I mean, of course, I love the Bertuzzis and the Naslins and the Millers, and there's so many people I love to watch. But those are some of my faves.
Awesome. Hypothetically, is your preference Gensel at 9.5 to 10, hypothetically, or Toffoli and DeBrusk for 9.5 to 10?
Okay, so that's a good question. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. It all depends on what it costs. So if Gensel's 9, but Toffoli and DeBrusk are 10, then I'd rather have Gensel.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of like Toffoli and Arvidsson, even though Arvidsson cannot stay healthy, dude. If you look at his stats, it's insane. He has not had a healthy season in like 6 or 7 years. So I like Arvidsson a lot when healthy. So, but he's saying in that next tier of players, there's someone else in that next tier that I like better than all 3 of those guys, and I can't remember what his name is right now. I've done videos on it, so
okay.
I have done so much content lately, Clay. I feel like I'm losing it, But it depends on the prices. In order to answer that question,
Sure.
but I like Gensel a lot.
What happens if we don't get Zadorov? Are you okay with the Brendan Dillon as Zadorov light?
100%. I really want us to get Dylan if Z is gone. And so, but I wonder if he'll come. I mean, he's from this area. He should.
Right.
I think it would be awesome to get. If we don't get Zadorov, I want Brendan Dillon.
Are you worried the Canucks are going to use the cap space and overpay someone like Toffoli, Joshua, or Arvidsson?
I am very nervous about that. I am. So, but again, like it depends what Gensel wants. If he wants 9.5, I'm out on 9.5. I don't know where these numbers come up. Anyways, like Frank Saravelli, he told everyone forever that Hronek's getting 8 times 8, and it's like he got 7.25. So I don't always believe all the numbers. I think it's what they look at the comps, but that doesn't mean like Allvin, they come up and say, "This is what we have. This is what we're offering. We would love for you to be here. Would you like to come?"
Yeah.
So yeah, I am a little nervous about that. Like how much do you think Toffoli should make, Clay?
Oh, he's getting old. I don't know. What does he want? 4, 4.5, 5? I wouldn't pay
a lot of money.
4. Yeah, I wouldn't pay more than 4. Yeah.
There you go.
Tyson says, how about a cheap decor like this so we can spend some money in the top 6? Hughes, Hronek. Well, they're not. Those 2 aren't cheap. Susie, Myers for 3, Dillon for 3, and Juleson.
I like that. I thought that Myers was going to get $3 million.
Yeah.
Dillon, I want him for 2, but I think he's going to be a $3 million guy too. So I love Juleson. I'm convinced Juleson's going to be in our number 6 and Freeman's going to be our number 7. So I don't mind these lines at all. If we don't get Zadorov, I'm telling you, if we don't get Zadorov, I'm going to be the saddest.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to watch that video if it happens.
But I'll be realistic, though.
All right, a couple more. Give us your top 3 in the Pacific next year.
Vancouver. Okay, so I think it's just going to be Edmonton, Vancouver. They're going to be battling it out again.
Yep.
And then I just have this feeling that LA is just dropping off. So I'll stick with Vegas there.
Okay.
As number 3. So I don't know if it's Vancouver or Edmonton. That I still think we have their number, honestly. So I'll just go Vancouver, Edmonton, Vegas.
All right. Thank you, Tradester, for the nice words. I'll e-transfer you like $20 later. That's fine. Thank you. Let's do this. Oh, here it is. Where was it? Oh yeah. I didn't get a chance to your thoughts on Florida winning the cup.
Okay, well, I don't know if people are going to be mad at me about this, but I was not cheering for Edmonton. I just couldn't do it. And I respect Edmonton. I like them a lot. I love McDavid, but there's a lot of their team I'm not a fan of. I didn't like Skinner, but he was way better than I thought. So Florida winning the cup for me, like I love the line of Bennett and Tkachuk. That was awesome. And I think they had Verhaeghe on that line too. What a line. What an incredible line. Everyone's like, oh, it's a bunch of goons out there. I'm like, it's playoff hockey.
Yes.
Like, are you kidding me? Do you think the Oilers and Canucks were nice to each other? No. Nashville was going after Quinn Hughes, right? So I loved watching Florida's team game. People are like, oh, the Oilers had a better team. No, they didn't. Florida was way better as a team. Edmonton has stars and scrubs. Okay. And in my opinion, Bobrovsky is the difference. You have to have a goalie to win the cup. And it proved it. I mean, granted, I mean, they scored 8, 5, and 5 in games 4, 5, and 6, and they scored 1 in game 7. So I was thrilled. I was thrilled about Luongo. I was thrilled about the coach, Paul Maurice, getting the cup. I was thrilled for Bennett. I was thrilled for Barkov. I mean, Ekblad is as a number 1 overall pick. I mean, it's pretty cool. It hurts. It stung with OEL. Let's be honest. It's like,
yep.
I mean, are we going to bring him back? No, I'm joking. Forrest Lang, that hurts a little bit, but congratulations to him too. So
yeah,
I was happy about that. I don't know. I have family members that are angry at me because I wasn't cheering for Edmonton. I'm like, how do I flip the switch?
I thought you're allowed to cheer for who you want to.
I thought so too, but yeah, I've got some comments I probably shouldn't say.
All right. Last 2 questions. And Irvin, I'll get to yours last. Thank you for using your Triple M. Darren says, I like this because Darren's from Victoria. That's hence Darren in Victoria. Trev, are you from Nanaimo? And how vibrant is the Canucks community in Nanaimo?
It's actually pretty good. There's still a lot of Edmonton fans around here, which just surprises me. When I lived in the Okanagan, it was so many Calgary Flames fans. It was weird. They're in the playoffs. I have all these Calgary Flames flags flying everywhere. Here, I see a number of Edmonton stuff, but I think the majority of people are Canucks fans. They thought that we had a great year. So yes, I'm from Nanaimo. Love the Harbor City. I love Vancouver Island. It's amazing. It's my favorite place to live. So if you're in Vic, I mean, that's a great place as well.
Awesome. So I'm going to give you a chance to read this while I play the goal horn, and this will be the last question that we do tonight. So thank you, Irvin. Swervin Irvin, a member of the CCC for the past 2 months. Thank you. Let's give Irvin some love using his Triple M. He says, hey, Trev, any UFAs you'd want out of Edmonton? And now I'll just read you the complete list off of Cap Friendly. It is indeed Connor Brown, Sam Carrick, Warren Fogle, Sam Gagne, Adam Henrique, Matthias Janmark, Corey Perry, Vincent Desharnais, Troy Stetcher, and Calvin Pickard. So they have 10 UFAs of their own. Wow. Any of those names excite you, Trev?
I like those 3 that were on the list there. It'd be hard for me to. I mean, are we talking on the 4th line? Then I'm cool with it. I don't really think. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a great question. I really like that question. I also hate the question too. So it's one of those not hate it. Sorry, that's wrong. So it's a tough one. Yeah. But is Janmark the one who he got the breakaway and scored?
And he's not the best looking guy I've ever seen.
No, but he's got speed. I think I would take him.
Okay. There you go. You heard it here first from Rev Trev. So Trev, I'm going to, a small pet peeve. I hate it when people say, I'm going to let you go, because it sounds like that they are dictating what your schedule is. What I will do though, is I will put you backstage. That sounds even worse, but no. Trev, thanks. Tell everyone a bit about your channel and where they can find you.
Yeah. So if you search me on Facebook, Instagram, X, which is Twitter, if you've been living under a rock, and YouTube, go to Kempner Canucks. I don't know if you see any of these Kempner Canucks, and you'll find me there. I love making Canucks content that is passionate, realistic, and honest. I just love making content. Insane. I just been looking at how much content I've made over this last year, Clay, and I'm like, wow. This is a part-time job where I don't get paid very much.
It is indeed a labor of love, but you do it very well. So thank you, Trev, for joining me. I will text you in about 5 minutes when I'm done and just say thank you there. But yes, I will remove you from this screen so you can go do what you need to do. But thanks again. I look forward to watching all your stuff coming over the next weekend.
And just before I leave, everyone hit the like and subscribe for Clay. He produces incredible content. I'm a big fan.
You're a good man. We love these mutual admiration societies. Thanks, Trev.
See ya.
Talk soon. All right, there you go. Rev Trev. He's doing some awesome work. So follow him, Kempner Canucks. It's turning out to be a really good friend of mine as well. So let's wrap up tonight. Really appreciate you guys being here. And I'll do my formal wrap up and remind you of what my plan is for next week. So moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Andrew Chang. thank you for your support. And thanks to Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. And yeah, thanks to Rev Trev for Kempner Canucks for joining me as well. I want to thank my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Lou, weight loss coach. And I want to thank Lucas for going above and beyond today with 2 donations. Thank you, Lucas. And Irvin using his monthly membership message to ask a question as well. Don't forget, my show is next week, as I mentioned, because of my travel schedule, both the trip I'm going on tomorrow and the trip I'm going on next weekend, Tuesday at 10 p.m., then Thursday at 10 p.m. for members only. On your way out, subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, gift a membership, buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, rate and review. I'm grateful for all you guys, to all you guys. Thanks for supporting me on this channel. And yeah, it was a good day. Teddy Blueger gets signed for 2 years, and Ilya Mikheyev traded away, a bit of retention, but the Canucks have now more money to play with over the next few days. So it sucks I won't get to see you over the next few days while a lot of things are happening, awards, draft, free agency, but I gotta take care of what I need to take care of as well, and that's spend some good time with my lovely wife and some really good friends of mine. So as always, thanks for being here. I will see you next week. And I'm not taking my laptop, so I'm going to try this. I don't have to do any work, so I'm not going to take my laptop. So I won't be streaming from Vegas, but I will. I'll do a couple of videos probably from my phone down there, especially as news breaks. Okay, friends, you guys are awesome. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. By the way, did you know that 85% of Americans don't know how to do basic math? 85%. I'm sure that the other 25% are pretty grateful. God bless. And go Canucks go. That joke didn't make any sense because I'm not American. Take care. Booyah.